Let's start from the beginning. A few months ago, I got this Polaroid 600 series camera and it has completely changed my life. The specific design has been around since the 1990s, so I had to buy it refurbished through a company called Retrospect. It has transformed my photographic eye as well as connected me more with my community far more than any other camera I've used before, and I want to tell you guys a little bit about it. This is my main camera, the Sony A7R Mark IV, a full-frame mirrorless camera which has been my daily driver for the past 2 years. This camera is amazing in so many ways and can take some incredibly high-resolution photos. I have taken some of my favorite photos of all time on this camera and it never fails to impress me. Sometimes I have come back from a shoot with over 2,000 photos taken, which is really helpful because of the freedom it gives me. But despite all the cool features on the Sony, something about this Polaroid camera has really gravitated me towards it. There's such a human element I feel when taking Polaroids in public, which I haven't felt that much until I started shooting with it. After making my first photo book, I've set out to create another. The process of shooting and designing has really gravitated me into the realm of photo book designing, and I want my next photo book to be about my Polaroids. These instant film cameras create a homey and warm feeling about the subject that is hard to convey over standard digital photography. The social aspect to the process of shooting with the camera is really like no other to me. Whenever I go out in public and take photos, I get compliments about it, as well as people who recall their experiences with Polaroids and how rare it is to see them today around in public.
Yeah, you know, oh, that's a Polaroid.
Yeah.
Man, I haven't seen a Polaroid in a long time.
Simply going up to ask a stranger if I can take a photo of them really creates a better connection between the subject and the image, and I feel like it allows me to take significantly better photos. Excuse me, can I take a photo of you? Yeah? Ready? Thank you. A lot of the time, my subject can feel more comfortable or nostalgic because of their experiences with Polaroids in the past. After I take a shot, it takes about 10 to 15 minutes for the Polaroid to fully develop. Something about that slowed down process is really fun because I'll take an image and then put it in my pocket and wait a little bit, then check back on it. And I can kind of see the image come to life as it's developing over those 10 minutes. Side note, it's kind of funny that Polaroids are called instant photography when it takes that long to develop, but I guess at the time, it was considered very instantaneous compared to the normal process of developing film in the darkroom. The slow process of this camera has really made me take a step back a bit and spend more time on each image because of how valuable each image is. I mean, Polaroids now are like $2 an image, which is crazy. So I really have to just spend more time composing each one of them. Now we can come back from a shoot with 11 photos versus hundreds or if not thousands, which I've done on my Sony camera. And at the same time, I don't feel like I've missed any shots, really. I think the amount of time I've spent curating individual shots made up for the same shot, but taking it, different variations of it, like hundreds of times on the digital camera. The imperfections of the Polaroids are one of my favorite things about it. Like, it makes it feel way more personal to me. And I also really like how you can get the physical image. You have a physical product of your work that you can hold in hand or display on the wall, which I'm not used to either. Almost all of my photography work is online, and I rarely can print my photos out and have them in a physical version. So this is a really cool and interesting way that I've been able to look at some of my images. The only other thing that's come close to the physical feeling is making my photo book, which one of the reasons I really like it is because of that physical aspect of it, being able to physically see my work. So I have this wall in my room that I want to start displaying my photos on, and I think I want to display some of my first set of Polaroids that I've taken. This is a street photography series of Lake Merritt, which was my first ever time I went out and took Polaroids. It really changed my creative process as a photographer, and I want to be reminded of that every day by putting it somewhere on my wall. So I was thinking of potentially framing it and putting it in maybe like a grid pattern or something on this frame, kind of spreading them all out like this or something. And I think it would be a really cool way to be able to display these all together as a series. I find myself frequently feeling unmotivated with my regular Sony camera, despite the variety of things I can do with that camera. I mean, I can pretty much do anything with that camera, which is completely the opposite with the Polaroid camera. There's a lot less features on that one. After getting this Polaroid camera, it's not only recharged my creativity on another level, but it's also, I think, matured myself and my photographic eye in really interesting ways. I think it's allowed me to become the best version of a photographer that I can be. If you're in the same boat or wanting to get into photography, instant photography would be on the top of my list for starting out like that because of the creative process of it, but also the significantly lower price than normal digital cameras. I mean, ultimately, it's just about having fun, and this camera gets the frickin' job done. I'm putting this Polaroid series on the wall because it's not only a representation of my first photo shoot with the Polaroids, but also just a reminder of why I like photography so much. So without a question, I would 100% recommend trying instant photography out for yourself. It seems to be a dying trend, but it doesn't have to be that way. If you enjoyed this video, it'd be awesome if you liked the video down below and subscribed, because there's going to be a lot more content like this coming out soon. See ya!